All right, so welcome, Kyra. This is so exciting. So you're Kyra Becker,
Yes.
and how old are you, Kyra?
I am 18.
You're 18. And how long have you been a pilot?
A little under 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when did you turn 18?
July 27th.
So that's really cool. Like you literally turned 18 and then like, what, a month later you became a pilot?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, what is it, November? So like 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. And I remember meeting you in, what was it, April or something?
Yes,
March?
for the EAA chapter meeting. Yeah.
For the breakfast. And had you even, you had started then or not even?
At that point, I had probably 10 hours of flight or maybe less.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you really like focused, priority number one, license, and
Yeah.
nothing else matters. Although you're also an elite soccer player.
Yes, I do play soccer.
Well, from the pictures I saw, it looks pretty intense soccer.
It's definitely a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay. And so you love it. You enjoy it as much as flying?
Yes.
Do you enjoy it more than flying?
Definitely not, but it's right up there.
All right. So how did the sky call to you? What resonated inside you about flight?
So I would say about 10 years ago, I met this woman who was a pilot. And at the time, I was pretty young and a Labor Day party with my family. And we were at a friend's camp. And there was a woman who had a camp right next to theirs. And she was from Arizona. And she was talking to me about like the pilot shortage and how it's such a great career to get into. And from a young age, I was always like, oh, I want my own airplane, but I never thought of myself flying.
Right.
And so when I got a little older, I thought maybe it was something I should try out, and I did, and I just ended up loving it.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So one woman you meet, she's a pilot, you're like, this seems like a lot of fun. And then from there, it's just history, basically.
Yes.
Did you have anybody in your family who flew?
No, I have no family that are pilots.
Wow. So yeah. Congratulations. That's even a bigger accomplishment. So can you remember, so apart from this woman, what was the first thing you did on your journey to become a pilot? What was on the first day you said, okay, I want to fly. What was the first thing you did? Did you do research on the internet? What was it?
So I got in contact with this man. I babysit his kids, and I babysat them at that point for probably 4 years. And he is a pilot. It's not his main job. It's just something he does for fun, but he has his commercial license in CFI. And so I asked him, I said, this is something I'm super interested in. I'd love it if you could bring me for a flight just to see if it's something I want to pursue. And I did, and I ended up loving it. And he was my instructor for the first 10 hours of flight. And yeah, so I just got in contact with him, and he helped me start my career so far.
Cool. That's amazing. Congratulations. Cool. And so you, because of babysitting, that's see, so life is so weird sometimes, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's very weird how to work out. Yes.
Yeah, great. Did you ever become discouraged on your quest?
Definitely. So getting my private license was a lot because I did it in such a short amount of time. I did it in this past summer. And towards the end, I needed to pass my written, and the written was very hard because I was kind of doing it all online, kind of by myself. But if anyone knows Beth White, she definitely helped me through those hard stages of getting your pilot's license, because it's definitely not an easy thing. But she sent me a book, and it's called like the Badass Book or something. And I read it.
Book, You're a Badass at Life from Jen Sincero?
Yes.
That's the one. Oh, amazing book. I read that one, and I read the one after she made about you're a badass at making money.
Yeah, so that was kind of what helped me, push through and just keep working at it.
Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. That's really good. And then, so apart from Beth White, apart from that instructor you did the first 10 hours with, is there, like, are those the two mentors you would say you have, or is there anybody else you think you have, that's a mentor to you?
I would definitely say Beth, and my first flight instructor, Brad, was definitely my main mentors. They've always been there to help me through everything and always there to bounce questions off of. And definitely my second instructor, Bob, he was always a big help. And yeah, they were just great people to look up to and bounce questions off of.
So if anybody was like watching this right now and thinking, wow, I really want to become a pilot, what's the best piece of advice you would give them? What would be something you would say to them to like get them going, get them started, anything?
I would say definitely before you jump right into it, take a discovery flight or talk to a pilot and figure out that it's going to be something you want to invest in yourself doing and it's something you're going to want to pursue. And yeah, take a discovery flight, find out if you're comfortable flying. And even if you aren't, don't give up. If you know it's something that about, I've talked to people who were just so scared their first 20 hours of flight, but ended up getting their private license. So yeah, just I guess stick with it. And if it's something you know you're passionate about, then don't give up on it.
Now I'm really curious from one pilot to another pilot, what's the thing you love the most when you fly? Like what's the maneuver or the type of flying or the moment that you love the most when you're in the air?
I would definitely say the view. And you just discover so many different things from being at a different perspective. Just like flying down the lake and seeing houses that you didn't even know existed because they're tucked back in the woods, and just being able to really look at the world from a different perspective, I would say is my favorite.
Cool. Any specific maneuvers you really like to do?
I guess in my private
or that you really, really hate?
Let's see. I liked S turns because I kind of figured it out quick. But I struggled with slow flight and stalls. Those sucked, but you got through them, and I'm good at them now, but I hated those at first.
What about spins?
I haven't done spin training yet.
What? Oh,
no.
US, because in Canada it's mandatory.
Yeah, no, it's not mandatory in the US. I will definitely have to next fall when I start my CFI license. We have to do spin training and all of that good stuff, but I don't know, I'm not really looking forward to it.
Actually, you know the funny thing about spin training, and that's because I was a glider pilot before I became a powered pilot, but spin training is awful when the other person's doing it, but as soon as they give you the controls and you learn to enter your spin yourself and get out of it, it's actually a lot of fun. But when
I've actually heard that.
Yeah, when somebody else does it, it's kind of like it's like driving in a car and somebody always decides to hit the brakes and do a hard right and you're not expecting it. You're like, whoa, you know? But yeah, it's the same thing with spins. But once you do it yourself and you're like, yeah, I'm going to enter a spin myself and I'm going to, put the opposite rudder and get out of it, then it's like, wow, this is actually fun.
Yeah, I always feel better when I'm in control, even when my instructor's flying, even though I know they have so much more experience than I do, I still feel a little more content when I have control.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's what it is. You know what you're doing and you know what you're going to do next. And
yeah,
it's a good thing. And last but not least, was it worth it? Was it worth the discouragement, the hard moments, the studying, the everything to get where you are now?
For sure. I've met so many great people just in the year I've been flying, and I love it. And I'm so excited to continue getting different ratings and meeting more people and just being more involved in the aviation world as a whole. I definitely don't regret anything. And I'm super happy that I stuck with it and just finished it out.
And how did you come across getting the Ray Foundation scholarship? Let's talk about that quickly.
So that's actually another weird thing. My mom she used to work in Vermont, and she went to visit where she used to work, and she saw one of the guys she used to work with who's part of the EA chapter in Vermont. And she was telling him, because he's also a pilot, how I really wanted to get my private license and how I started flying. And he was like, well, you need to get in contact with Beth White. She knows about some good scholarships. So we ended up getting connected with Beth, and I applied, and I thankfully got it. But yeah, it was just a weird thing how it happened. So yeah, it was kind of thanks to my mom.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Because that's not an easy thing to get. I mean, there's a lot of scholarships out there, but there's a lot of competition out there. So yeah, congratulations. And you deserve it. You're a great role model. So thanks a lot for coming on to our first interview of Girls Go Fly. and you are our first guest. So I picked you because I wanted you to be the first guest because I think you're a powerhouse. So keep going, keep in touch. Let us know what's next. And so the next step is being an instructor.
So I'm getting my instrument rating right now, and then next semester I do commercial throughout the summer. So next fall I'll start my CFI license, my flight instructor license.
Okay. And what's the ultimate goal that you have right now in mind?
I'd like to be a cargo pilot for FedEx.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Good for you. So don't lose track of it and keep plowing forward, and happy landings.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye.